You may have seen cameras like this being put up around your town or community. You may have even assumed that these are regular security cameras. However, that's far from the truth. These cameras are produced and distributed by the company Flock Safety, and they are part of a mass surveillance network that's being put up nationwide. Not only are they very invasive towards your privacy, but they can also be very damaging to the safety of your community. This is what the average Flock security camera looks like. That big black rectangle is the solar panel that powers it, and there is the camera itself. But it's not just a camera, it has other features as well. It has a gunshot detector and a car crash detector. Now, this can be very helpful to first responders by reducing call time, and that can be life-saving. However, those features aren't all that's included. The main feature of these cameras is the license plate detector inside. It not just logs your license plate number, but the location of your vehicle at that moment. It also logs any other identifiable features of your vehicle, and the driver. Say if there's a large scratch at the front of your car, it would identify that and put it in its logs. These are the maps of two very different sized cities, and all of the flock cameras inside them. This is Chicago, Illinois. In that small semicircle of land, there's 688 flock cameras. And there is Chillicothe, Illinois, where I'm from. In that big circle, there's about 5 cameras. Now, if you live in a big city like Chicago, you might pass 10 flock security cameras on your way to work or just on a jog. But in Chillicothe, you may only pass 1. Now, whether you're passing 10 or just 1, your location is being tracked at each point. Now, it used to be that law enforcement needed a warrant to track your location. Supreme Court cases like Carpenter v. U.S. and U.S. v. Jones made sure that the Fourth Amendment protected against such violations of your rights. However, nowadays, police are checking flock security cameras to track your location without any such warrants. Even civil rights organizations such as the ACLU have taken up notice with this. You might know the ACLU from your U.S. history class as the organization that made sure Brown v. Board of Education was being enforced, or played a key role in the legalization of gay marriage. This quote from them: "Neither local police departments, government officials, nor residents should accept flock security's model." This is from the ACLU representative, Chad Marlowe. Now, it's not just your privacy you should be worried about with these cameras. It's also the safety of you and your community. You see, with the vast amount of data that is being handled by the nearly 100,000 flock cameras in the US, you better hope that it's being handled safely. However, with flock safety, it's not a guarantee. There have been multiple large data leakages from flock cameras. The largest of these had to deal with the Condor cameras, like this one, which mostly track pedestrian mobilities. Now, this leak was so large because none of the data that was being passed around by these cameras was encrypted in any way, shape, or form. There was no password, no username, nothing that was required to access the data from these cameras. And the data that was passed around from these cameras that was unencrypted allowed people to access live feed and footage history from these cameras. Now, this sort of incompetence has no place anywhere near our law enforcement and should not be taken lightly. However, it's not just the company Flock Safety that can't be trusted with this data. It's also the law enforcement agencies that have shown they cannot handle this data safely or even legally. This quote, "Had an abortion, search for female," is from the search logs of Adam King. Adam King is the former sheriff of Johnson County in northern Texas. He conducted an illegal nationwide flock camera search for a woman who left the state of Texas seeking abortion care. He did not receive any repercussions for this action. He wasn't even fired from his job, not until a few months later when a sexual assault scandal became public. Even federal law enforcement agencies, such as Immigration and Customs Enforcement, have used these cameras to legally obtain data. ICE has on multiple occasions accessed data from parts of California and Illinois. Now, this is illegal because both states identify themselves as sanctuary states and have legislated themselves in such a way that local law enforcement is not allowed to share information or comply with ICE in any of their duties, making their searches illegal. In conclusion, flock cameras are very invasive to our privacy, and we cannot trust that the data that is being collected by them is used safely and legally. No one wants to live in a world where every moment of their friends' and family's lives is being logged and recorded, and police can do whatever they want with this data. Therefore, it is very important that we fight back against the installation of these cameras wherever we can.